Every once in a while, there comes a film that transcends a genre, that brings us a strong story, memorable performances. There is a film 10 years ago that showed us a hero, a silent guardian, a watchful protector, The Dark Knight. Hello everyone, The Dark Knight turns 10 years old, and this film had a profound effect on me, not only as an audience member, but as a filmmaker and Batman fan. I was an aspiring filmmaker when this came out. I was barely 17 years old, and yeah, I was still in high school when this came out. I was a huge fan of Batman Begins. I thought that brought Batman back in a big way, and I was highly anticipating the return of the Joker with Christian Bale's Batman. And we finally saw The Dark Knight, a film that has influenced not only the comic book genre, but films as well. This was the first motion picture shot with IMAX footage and some portions of it. No other motion picture, like regular studio motion picture, was shot with IMAX sequences. And I remember seeing this at the IMAX, at Bob Bullock IMAX in Austin, Texas, and it was wonderful. I loved seeing this movie on IMAX for the first time. It inspired me, but also you see its influence everywhere, whether it be Mission Impossible, Transformers. On to the films we have today, and it was such a great film. I already went over a Dark Knight review, you can check on my channel, and I went over a video going over the Dark Knight trilogy. I will share that at the end of this video, but I wanted to reflect upon this film on its 10-year anniversary. This film is still as relevant and still just as powerful as it was 10 years ago. It's not only a good comic book film, to call it that would be an insult. This is a great film. Period. It's the Godfather Part 2 of comic book films. I wrote an essay over The Dark Knight. I'm a huge fan of this. I think it's a modern fable, and it's shaped our industry so much. Just look at Skyfall, the way that's structured after Dark Knight. But let's not ignore the influences Dark Knight had as well. I mean, you had Michael Mann's Heat influence The Dark Knight. So many other films, but I love the groundedness, the realism of this film, and elevated the genre. And because of that, it totally shaped every other comic book movie. Everybody thought that to be dark and gritty to be a good movie. No. What made this great is that it was true to the Batman character. And most of all, Christopher Nolan made a modern crime film. If you look at it, it doesn't feel like a comic book movie. It feels like a crime movie. And I love that. And let us not forget Heath Ledger as the villainous Joker. He was magnificent in this. I remember kind of being taken aback when he was first casted. I'm like, Heath Ledger, the Brokeback Mountain guy, is the Joker? That's back when I thought it was going to be like Jack Nicholson's Joker. No, this is a completely different character. And I remember seeing the set photos, and I was kind of skeptical. I was also worried about Maggie Gyllenhaal replacing Katie Holmes. She turns out to be a great Rachel. She knocked it out of the park. I remember seeing that trailer, for those who remember, I Am Legend. I went to go see I Am Legend, and I forgot what movie I saw when I was surprised by the trailer for The Dark Knight. You have him in the Bat Pod, and then you see the first images of the Joker, just like, evening, Commissioner. And then his face is revealed. Oh my god. That trailer took me out of the movie, and I was just like, what is this? This looks incredible. Still one of the best edited trailers I've ever seen in my life. Let's not forget the ending where he's just like, come on, hit me! And you just see him miss, and you see the Bat Pod turn, you see Heath Ledger turn, he's just like, let's put a smile on that face. And you just hear him laugh maniacally. Wow, such a crazy trailer, and the hype was real. Unfortunately, we had the passing of Heath Ledger, and I didn't think it was real. I'm like, somebody's making this up. After seeing the trailer, I was talking about the trailer with people in high school for months. For months, that whole month, I was just like, did you see the Dark Knight trailer in I Am Legend? And it was sad to see him die. I wasn't sure how far they got in the film. Luckily, he completed the film. They had to do some stuff post-production-wise with voices and stuff, but other than that, he mostly completed it. And yeah, it was a while before we got a trailer. We didn't get a trailer until Iron Man came out in May, Dark Knight Trailer 3, and then the ball got rolling for the summer. I got the Gotham City pizza box, the merchandise, Wave 1 of the Joker figurine that came with a Joker card. I am a huge Batman fan, and I remember when this came out, you had the Domino's trailer, you have to get the pizza, put in a code, and you see the trailer. I love it, and this movie was phenomenal. I love the dichotomy between order and chaos, good versus evil, between Batman and the Joker, who is just like a dog chasing cars, you know? He's that Jack out of the box. And you have the mob, Eric Roberts. And then another actor who I feel is vastly underrated in this, Aaron Eckhart as Harvey Dent. You get to see him as the White Knight, as the district attorney, Gotham's face. And then you get to see him lose someone he's close to. You get to see him be corrupted, and he becomes Harvey Two-Face. And that is so great because that's the Joker's plan, to basically make everyone like him. And it's such a tragedy. The Dark Knight is a tragedy, and it ultimately shows us what Batman is as a character. No other film really showed us that before in any way. And that was something so profound. I also love Michael Caine as Alfred, Gary Oldman, and again, Maggie Gyllenhaal really brought a lot more as Rachel. I actually would have felt bad when she got blown up. I don't think I would have felt that way with Katie Holmes, you know? There's a tragedy there. Oh my god, that whole chase sequence in downtown Chicago. Who could forget the interrogation scene? Ah, the good cop, bad cop routine. Not exactly. And then he hits the Joker in the head, never start with the head. The victim gets all fuzzy. I love that, and it's just why'd you want to kill me? I don't want to kill you. What would I go back to doing? Ripping off mob dealers? No, you complete me. You're garbage who kills for money. Don't talk like one of them, even if you want to be. To them, you're just a freak, like me. They need you now, but when they don't, they'll cast you out, like the leper. You see, their morals, their code, dropped at the first sign of trouble. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. I'll show you. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other. You see, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve. And then he just picks up the Joker, and he's just I have one rule. Oh, then that's the rule you have to break, which is, the only sensible way to live in this world is without rules. And tonight you're gonna break your one rule. I'm considering it. And then there's that whole scene where he turns him over, hits him, and Batman reaches his breaking point. You've never seen him that mad, but what's worse is that when he punches a Joker, it does not faze him. He gives one of the best performances, and that scene alone, besides other footage in the movie, shows you why he posthumously won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. He gave the performance of a lifetime. He played an amazing, amazing Joker, and I love the grounded, kind of twisted version of this Joker. He's also not bleached, he just has makeup. Such a fantastic scene, him tricking Batman to go into the wrong address. And that's another thing, this film has stakes. Everything felt so intense, even for PG-13. People could get hurt, people die, and that was something you never really saw in other comic book movies, let alone Batman movies, and that's something that really elevated the genre. There hasn't been many films like this in 10 years. You've reached other films that were kind of close, like Captain America Civil War or Infinity War, but the only film, in my opinion, that's come close to The Dark Knight and maybe surpassed it just a little bit is Logan. Other than that, this film still is one of the best, not only comic book adapted films, but best films, period. And that's what makes it good. The other films that have come out, they're good, they have their moments, but there's humor and stuff that makes it feel like a comic book movie. I never feel like I'm watching something based on a comic book. I'm a Batman fan, but I feel like I'm watching a crime film, a crime drama when I watch The Dark Knight. And that is something that separates it not only with other Batman films, but within the genre itself. I love this trilogy. And this is the one that is one of the greatest sequels and that really transcended everything. It made it impossible for Dark Knight Rises to really surpass this. How do you top The Dark Knight? In many ways, you don't. You really don't. And, yeah, I love this film. Everything there, the hospital scene where it's just hi. And she's I just want you to know that what happened between you and your girlfriend, it wasn't personal. I didn't rig those charges. I love that. And then she's all you care about is money. This city deserves a better class of criminal, and I'm going to give it to them. Everything burns. I love that. And then the Pruitt building scene was phenomenal. It shows you the lengths Batman has to go through. And I love that. It's just you can't trust anyone these days. You got to do everything yourself. Don't we? You're alone. I love that. He's you want to know how I got these scars? No, but I know you got these. I love that. And then that whole part at the end where he's just what did you do? I took Gotham's White Knight and I brought him down to our level. It wasn't hard. You see, madness, as you know, is like gravity. All it takes is a little push. And he's laughing. I love that, and I love Batman's quote where he's just this city just showed you that it's full of people ready to believe in good. I love that. That whole final confrontation with Two-Face and Commissioner Gordon's family is intense. And he's just like, please don't kill my son. And he's just like, you wouldn't dare try to justify yourself if you knew what I lost. We're trying to fight the mob. I love that. And Batman was just like, you want to hurt the boy, Harvey. It's not about what I want. It's about what's fair. You thought we could be decent people in an indecent time. You were wrong. The Joker chose you because you were the best of us. He wanted to prove that even someone as good as you could fall. He was right. You're the one pointing the gun, Harvey. So point at the people responsible. I love that. Him saving Commissioner Gordon's son and that ultimate sacrifice. Such a phenomenal scene where he's just like, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I can do those things. Unlike Dent. And he sacrifices himself, and you have that wonderful speech that summarizes everything that Batman is with that closing statement. Beautiful ending that froze me in theaters. I was just moved. I was like, what did I just see? I've not seen anything that emotionally impactful. As a Batman fan, an audience member, and at that time an aspiring filmmaker, that film just transcended everything that year for me. And yeah, even in my media tech class, I did this Joker skit. It wasn't the best Joker Halloween mask, but I was Joker that year, and I got the movie on DVD, eventually on Blu-ray with the Dark Knight trilogy. And again, I wrote a paper on it. You can see a video of me reading some segments. It's like over 100 pages, but yeah, it was a very impactful film for me at that time, and still is in many ways. It's kind of weird seeing how far the genre has gone and how films have progressed, but at the same time, they haven't really matched the level of Dark Knight. Dark Knight is a classic. You know when you see a good movie when it immediately comes out. There's some movies that are like cult classics, but that was one of those movies where you knew you saw a damn good movie, and Dark Knight was one of them. And I think Christian Bale, and most of all, Christopher Nolan's direction, that Hong Kong scene, the utilizations of IMAX that was never seen before. And of course, later films got better transitions and having more sequences, but still very bold and very brave in that way to actually try that. Morgan Freeman, I love him as Lucius Fox. His reservations about Bruce Wayne and how the lengths he would go to stop Joker, but also that part where Reese is there and just like, so you think your boss, one of the most wealthiest men in the world, is secretly a vigilante beating people to a pulp at night? And your plan is to blackmail this man? Good luck. I love that scene. So many great scenes. There's just like, the Batpod, sir, not very subtle. And he's like, the Lamborghini then. He's like, much more subtle. I love that. So many great scenes. And it's weird seeing the live footage from Chicago when they were filming this and then seeing it in the movie. That hospital explosion, everything's real, everything's practical. Any use of CGI is minimal and almost non-existent when you look at it. You don't see it. Now, there were some scenes cut out from the trailer, whether it be the knife toss in a close-up angle or a deleted picture of Joker leaving the party, but anything else is great. I love that first confrontation where it's just like, let her go. Very poor choice of words. I love that. His stories, whether it's his wife or father, very good nod to the Killing Joke. My father was a fiend. One night, he comes home crazier than usual. Mommy gets the kitchen knife to defend herself. He doesn't like that. Not one bit. He's going on and on about the knife. It comes with me with the knife. Why so serious? Sticks the blade in my mouth. Why so serious? And let's put a smile on that face. I love that, and then the whole gambling. My wife was beautiful, like you, who gambled and got in deep with the sharks. One day they carve her face. We have no money for surgeries. I just want her to be happy again. He's going on and on. He's like, so I do this to myself. She can't stand the sight of me. She leaves. Now I see the funny side. Now I'm always smiling. Rachel gets him, and he's just like, a little fighting you. I like that. Batman's just like, they're gonna love me. Boom. I love that, and who could forget the funny, sadistic but funny pencil scene, the magic trick. How about a magic trick? I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. And then he gets a guy's head, and she's like, ta-da! It's gone. Great Great performance by Heath Ledger. And it's definitely one of those films that continues to transcend a genre, continue to influence people, and yeah, it's just an American movie classic. It's one of the best films ever made. Seriously. And some people may say it's overrated, but I really didn't meet anybody when that came out. Really hated it. People who didn't even love Batman liked that movie. All of a sudden, everybody was a Batman fan when that came out. Like, really, I remember going to Hot Topic, Spirit Halloween. Everything was Batman. Batman Mania was back. And yeah, very few films come out in your lifetime that is like that. And that was one of those films. So, 10 years later, its effect is still felt. And its importance has not been forgotten. It's going to be around for 10 more years, 20 more years, more than that, and continue to teach people, continue to influence people, and be a staple of that period of time in history. It was also a very different movie to have like a post 9/11 world, a kind of a terror world. And what would it be like with one individual doing that? And not in like a Saturday morning cartoon way, like a real individual. It felt real in that way. And because of that, like I said earlier, the stakes were high. So, that's just my reflection of The Dark Knight. I love this movie. And yeah, it has an effect on my life as a Batman fan. So, anybody out there, let me know your thoughts and memories of The Dark Knight. What was it like when you first saw it? What are some of your favorite moments? Feel free to share your memories. You can also follow me on the Stardust app at Fred Film Fanatic. And here are some videos that are Dark Knight related that you can see on my channels. So, everyone out there, have a great day.